Something is waking me up at 3:33 a.m. every night. The first time it happened, I didn't think much of it. I assumed it was just one of those random wake-ups, the kind that happens when your body is restless or when you've had too much caffeine before bed. My phone screen glowed in the darkness, the numbers burning into my tired eyes. 333. And I rolled over, pulled the blankets tighter around me, and forced myself back to sleep. Forced myself back to sleep. The second night I woke up again, 3:33 a.m. This time, I felt uneasy. It wasn't just the wake-up. It was the feeling that I wasn't alone. My apartment was silent, save for the faint hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen. Yet something about the air felt different, heavier. I glanced toward the doorway, expecting to see what a shadow, a figure. The thought alone made my skin crawl, but the hallway was empty. I shook my head, telling myself it was nothing, and went back to sleep. The third night I woke up, gasping, 3:33 a.m. My heart pounded as I tried to remember why I felt so terrified. A dream. A noise. The room felt colder than usual, like the heat had been sucked out of it. And then I heard a faint tapping sound. Tap. 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 It was coming from my closet. I froze. My body screamed at me to get up, to check, to do something, but I was paralyzed by fear. I squeezed my eyes shut, yanked the covers over my head, and willed myself to disappear. I stayed like that for what felt like hours, my breath shallow, my muscles rigid. Eventually exhaustion won, and I drifted back into uneasy sleep. By the fourth night, I was dreading bedtime. I stayed up late, binge-watching shows, scrolling through my phone, anything to delay the inevitable, but no matter how much I fought at, sleep eventually pulled me under. And at 3:33 a.m. I woke up. This time, something was different. The tapping had stopped. Instead, I heard breathing. Slow, measured, not mine. It was coming from the foot of my bed. Every hair on my body stood on end. I didn't move, didn't breathe, didn't even blink. I could feel something there. Something watching me. My pulse pounded so loudly I was sure whatever it was could hear it. Then a whisper came. A voice right next to my ear, so close. I felt the breath against my skin. "You're awake." I screamed. I scrambled for the lamp, knocking it over in my panic. The room flooded with light, and I spun around, expecting to see something, but there was nothing. Just my empty room, my unmade bed, my closet door, now slightly ajar. I didn't sleep again that night. The next morning I called my friend Jake. I told him everything, my voice shaking as I recounted the last few nights. He listened, silent, until I was finished. Then he said, "Dude, you should set up a camera." I hated the idea. A part of me didn't want to know what was happening, but the logical part of my brain, the part that refused to believe in ghosts or demons, convinced me that this was the only way to get some answers. That night I set up my phone on a tripod, aimed it at my bed, and hit record before lying down. I kept the closet door shut and locked. I left the hallway light on just for comfort, and despite my fear, exhaustion took over. 3:33 a.m. I woke up with a start. My heart, already hammering the room, felt wrong, heavy, stifling. And then I saw it. The closet door was open. Not just a crack, this time wide open. I bolted upright, fumbling for my phone. The screen glowed in my shaking hands as I stopped the recording and pressed play. At first, the footage showed nothing, just me sleeping, occasionally shifting in bed. The timestamp rolled toward 3:33 a.m. And then, something moved. The closet door swung open on its own. My sleeping body didn't stir. The door stayed open, revealing only darkness for a few seconds. Nothing happened. And then, the figure stepped out. I nearly dropped my phone. My breath hitched in my throat as I stared at the screen. The figure was tall, impossibly thin, its limbs elongated in ways that weren't natural. Its face, or what should have been its face, was featureless, just a smooth expanse of pale skin. It moved toward my bed without a sound, and then it crouched down right next to me. I was still asleep. The thing stayed there, watching, listening. And then it leaned in its mouth, a slit that hadn't been there before, opening inches from my ear. I didn't need to hear the whisper again to know what it said. The video cut off. I threw my phone across the room, bile rising in my throat. My mind raced with 1,000 questions, 1,000 horrors. Was this real? Had this been happening every night? Had it done something to me? I needed to leave now. I grabbed my keys, my wallet, my phone. I didn't even bother packing a bag. I ran to my car, barely remembering to put on shoes. As I sped down the street, I stole one last glance at my bedroom window. The figure was standing there, watching me leave. I don't know what it wants. I don't know why it comes at 3:33 a.m. But I do know one thing. It let me go. For now.